Um, this could be another one of those just vlogs. I'm just talking candidly. So I might curse in this video if that's something you don't want to hear. Don't watch the video. I want to talk a little bit about the last video that I posted, and I want to be an adult and the bigger man because I know that I can be and I am. So first off, I will apologize for being immature. And I had disabled the comments for that video simply because a lot of people pointed out something that I was doing wrong, and I became defensive and immature. And I said, well, I don't like those comments even though they were true, and so I disabled the comments. So I will apologize for that because part of what makes YouTube so much fun is the communication between people. And I think it is important to be able to leave things uncensored. Now, I've never censored my channel. I will delete comments if something's extremely inappropriate or has nothing to do with the video or other comments. If people are cursing at each other or talking about everyone's moms or something ridiculous, then I might delete a comment like that. But I've always been proud of the fact that I've left my videos uncensored and I've let people comment because that's what makes YouTube fun. If you can only watch videos and never actually comment anything, half the people wouldn't even stay on YouTube. You know, part of the fun is talking with people who make the videos, talking about your opinions on the videos, whether they're good or bad. So I was wrong, I think, in not liking the comments, so I basically quieted everyone up. I don't want to be like that. I've never been like that. I'm not going to start being like that. So I did release the comments again. And I want to talk a little bit about it. So basically, here's what happened, in case you didn't see it or don't know what's going on. I posted a video. I was driving and I saw this dog that was loose in the back of a truck bed. And I've seen that before, and every time I've seen it, I've always not liked the idea. I think that it's a dangerous thing to do. Now, whether you disagree with me or not, that was just my opinion. And I wanted to film this to show everyone, and basically just for a topic, because this is something I felt kind of strong about, and I wanted to make a point, and I wanted to see what other people's opinions were. What I didn't like, and I'm totally fine with people disagreeing with me. Some people said that it's not dangerous, although there's been dogs that have jumped out of trucks. If a truck got into an accident, the dog will go flying. Will it get hurt if it's inside the truck as opposed to outside? I don't know. There's a lot of different situations, but it's just something I didn't like. The reason I disabled the comments is that most of the comments weren't about the dog. They had nothing to do with the dog. It was pointing out the fact that, one, I was being dangerous by filming and driving, which I agree with. I was a reckless thing to do, although I didn't think it was a big deal. And the other thing was me speeding. I was going 70, and I think some point in the video you see it's marked 50 miles an hour. So to comment on those, first of all, as far as speeding, I do speed. And part of this video is me venting and ranting to myself. I think to better myself, sometimes I have to kind of voice it aloud, my thoughts, and so other people can comment and talk about it. It helps. It's a way for me to try to see what I'm doing wrong, because you can't fix anything about yourself and you can't become a better person if you don't admit something's wrong. And I'm human. I make mistakes, and there's definitely things about me that that I do that are not right. And more times than not, I don't want to do these things, but you just do them. People have these moments in their life where you think you're right even though you're wrong. And in this case, I was wrong in both cases. I was wrong for filming. I was wrong for speeding. But I got defensive about it when people pointed that out. I didn't want to be wrong, and it was important for me to feel like I was a good driver. And both of these things were basically saying that I was not being a good driver and I was being reckless and that I was endangering everyone else sharing these roadways that I'm driving on. And I didn't like that. Being a man, you want to be a good driver. I don't know if women feel the same way, but I think most men feel like that. When you get in a car, you want to say to yourself, I'm a good driver. You know, it's just it's a man thing. It's a masculine thing to feel like you're in control and you're doing something right. No one wants to be told they're a bad driver. So I think that those comments maybe struck a wrong chord with me because it felt like someone was telling me that I was not a good driver, even though I was clearly not being a safe driver in those instances. As far as the speeding, there is such a thing as flow of traffic. When you're on the highway, pretty much every highway, but definitely Pennsylvania and definitely where I was driving, there's such a thing as flow of traffic. The highway is 65 miles an hour. That particular place that I was filming was a construction zone, so it was dropped down to 50. But if everyone on the highway is doing 75, that's the flow of traffic. So in order to drive safely in that situation, you do drive 75. So more times than not, there are people who are speeding that's not being dangerous. They're just going with the flow of traffic. Regardless, it still was speeding, and although I didn't film it, I do speed. And I'm going to tell you a story. It's not a story time video because it's not something I'm proud of, but I will tell you a story. It's something I thought of today. It happened recently. I don't know, maybe like a month or two ago. But I'm going to share that story with you because I learned a lesson thinking about that story. But you know, even though I was speeding that video, it was the flow of traffic. But I do personally speed, and honestly, I don't do it on purpose. It's not like I think it's cool. It's not really even that I'm in a rush. I think what happens is I get a case of road rage every now and then. Now, by the way, let me make this point very valid, or make this point rather, that in my own mind, I think differently now, but in my own mind, I was handling myself properly while driving recklessly. I know that doesn't sound like it makes any sense. What I mean by that is that when I'm taking these different risks and driving dangerously, I felt like I was in control. And I was blind to the fact that I was not in control, and that it has nothing to do with my skill set of driving. It has everything to do with luck. And I've never gotten into a severe accident driving because I've been lucky. And it has nothing to do with me being a good driver. It has nothing to do with me being a racer or anything like that. I'm not professionally trained to drive at high speeds or take, you know, unnecessary risks. So anyway, the reason I'm talking about this kind of stuff is because I want to say it to myself, and by making this video and editing it and watching it sell, it's gonna help me to remember this for myself, as well as hopefully help others. I mean, I want to make this video to kind of get this across to people who are just like me, and to maybe change your mind as I'm growing up and becoming more mature. I'm realizing certain things that I do are wrong, and they're dangerous, not just to myself, but to other people. And I think it's important for other people like me to hear that as well. And hopefully it might influence some of you guys out there who are like me and make these mistakes to become better people. But it's a learning process for me too. I mean, I'm not perfect, and there are things that I do that are wrong, and I'm big-headed about it. I think, you know, like, I got it. I'm in control. Does that make sense? Let me give you some examples here. First of all, though, if someone else is in the car with me, particularly someone I care about, I don't take unnecessary risks. I would never, ever endanger someone that I love or care about, or someone who's with me. I want them to feel safe when I'm driving, and I am a safe driver. But when I'm alone, something was wrong in my mind before, where I thought, well, it's just me. I'm not endangering anyone else, just me. And that's bullshit because I was endangering every other single person on that road, including the jerk-offs that I was screwing around with. And what I mean by that is that, like, I'll get on the high, and this only happens on the highway. If I'm running like side roads or like in town or something like that, I'm a perfect driver. But something about being on the highway, I'm driving along, everything's great, and then I'll get some friggin' kid who thinks he's in the movie Fast and the Furious, and he'll zip past me. I might be doing, you know, 70, just driving along, everything's great and dandy. Some kid in his little tuner just right past me doing like 80, and something clicks in my mind that goes, that's a fucking jerk off. And I have to go teach him a lesson. It's my job to go teach this punky kid a lesson. And now I'm going to drive. I'm going to go right in front of him. I'm going to cut him off. I'm going to flash him. I'm going to speed with him. And I'm going to teach him a lesson. That's so wrong. That is so incredibly wrong. I don't know what was wrong with me before for thinking that way. It was somewhat of a road rage. I guess it was a way for me to get my aggression out. When I see something like that now, I just say a little prayer. Hopefully that person doesn't hurt anyone, and that's it. And I try not to let it bother me at all. But I used to get so pissed off by stuff like that. I'd see someone doing something like that, and I thought it was my job to go teach them a lesson, and that was wrong. But it would happen all the time. I get some jerk off that would be doing something or cut me off or something, and instead of just honking like every other normal person does, No. Now this person's my enemy. This complete stranger is now my enemy. I have to tailgate them. I have to pretend to run them off the road. I mean, honestly, let me just tell you this story first. This happened about a month ago or so. I was driving along, and I've been doing a lot of driving lately. The last month or so, I've put in a lot of miles, doing a lot of highway driving, and people piss me off on the road. But I have to let it go, and I've learned to do that because I mean, now talking within the last couple days, I just really understand that I've been taking too many risks, and honestly, I am really, really ashamed at myself for being so dangerous and reckless, and I don't want to be like that anymore. And I'm going to change. I'm going to change right now. Every time I get in the car, it's not worth it. No one is worth it. It's not worth endangering other people. It's not worth wrecking the car that I need. It's not worth anything. It's not worth my health, my life, or anyone else's. So, but I am extremely, extremely disappointed and ashamed of myself for being selfish and not considering other people when I was doing stuff like that. So anyway, I'll tell you the story. This is the way I used to think. I'm driving along, and I see this brand new, bright red Corvette. Must have been 2013. Beautiful car. And it's just coming wrong, rumbling right past me. I'm probably doing maybe 72, 73 miles an hour on the highway. Normal speed. In fact, slow by most people's standards around here. Just driving along. Everything's fine. He drives. He's now passing me in the fast lane. And he cut me off. There's no cars around. No cars. And he got in my lane in front of me, about 20 feet in front of me. No blinker or anything. Just got in my lane and then took off. Doing like, I don't know, 80, 85, something like that. And I thought, what the fuck? What was that? That was a douchey move. And this is, I guess this is wrong. I'm sorry for cursing, but I'm just talking normally. All right, I go out of my way. I don't use a lot of profanity. I really don't curse a lot. I only curse usually when I'm really mad, or like if I'm being funny or something, a curse may slip out. But I'm just talking candidly. When I'm making my other videos and stuff, it's not necessary to curse at all. That's why I don't. Anyway, but I'm being honest with you. That's what I thought. What the fuck? So I'm like, what a douchebag. So now it's my job to teach this guy a lesson in his Corvette, which is clearly a much faster car than mine. So I speed up, and now he's doing probably 85. I'm doing 85. I'm right on his bumper. I see that he took note of me, so he guns it. And when he guns it, his tires spin, smoke pours out of his exhaust, and boom, he's off. He's got to be doing at least 120, 130 miles an hour. Zzz. And now, of course, we're fading away. He's leaving me in the dust with my very non-powerful car and his muscle car. That's it. But in my mind, now I have to play. Now the game has started. He's accepted my who knows what weird challenge that I've created. So now I race up to him, and now I'm doing 110 miles an hour. I'm topping out my car, and eventually I caught up to him because he slowed down. He sees me. I pass him. He doesn't like that. Of course he doesn't like that. He's Mr. Corvette, Mr. Brand New Corvette. He can't possibly have some cheap, underpowered car beat him in some kind of a race. So he speeds up. I speed up. I'm flooring the car, and there's traffic. Now, it's not heavy traffic, but every now and then a car here, a car there. So I'm weaving in and out of traffic, and I'm beating him. I'm racing this Corvette, and I'm winning. Why? Not because my car is better or faster, but because I'm taking more risks. I'm taking unnecessary risks. I'm being a dickhead is what I'm doing. But it's because I, for some reason, need to beat this car in a race to feel good, I guess. I don't know why I did this. All I remember, though, is this lasted about 25 minutes. And 25 minutes of doing 110 miles an hour, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time and a lot of dangerous situations that could have occurred. Well, there were dangerous situations regardless, but a lot of bad results that could have occurred. And I'm, not worried about cops or getting pulled over or anything or getting points on my license or paying fines that I can't afford. None of that's going through my head at all. It's just the only thing I'm focused on is this douchebag in the Corvette. So we're going along, and finally he gives up. He just gives up. So he just thought it was too dangerous. Whatever, I don't know why, but he gave up. Maybe he thought I was insane, and this is a waste of time. Who knows? But he gave up, and I felt like I won something, like it was a victory. I'm like, holy shit! I just beat a Corvette in a race, and I felt good about it. But looking back and really thinking about the situation, it was horrible. It was horribly dangerous. It was so reckless and so stupid. And for what? What for what? So some complete stranger doesn't like me. I mean, that's all that became of that. Is some random guy probably went home that day and thought, "Man, what a dickhead." That's it. I didn't win anything, but it was wrong of me to feel like that. To feel like I had a victory of some kind, and it's not right. It's not right thinking. I think a lot of kids, it's cool, you race someone, you see them on the highway, they got a cool car, you got a cool car, or at least you think you have a cool car. Most time you don't. Most time your car sucks. But hey, you want to race anyway, so you do this race thing and you endanger everyone on that road. And it's stupid. It's so dangerous. And all I kept thinking about, looking back at this situation, not of course not when it's happening. When it's happening, I'm not thinking about all the logical things. I'm just focused on this one situation, and it's a hot-headed, immature, alpha male thing to do. It's, you know what, I can't, no, it's an ego thing. That's what it is. I can't let my ego get hurt. There's no way I'm going to be the loser in this situation. But I was. I was the biggest fucking loser there is by endangering everyone on that road. And I'm very regretful for it. And I said a huge, huge prayer looking back and thanking that no one got hurt, that no one's ever gotten hurt from my dumb mistakes on the road. I'm making a promise to myself in this video and a promise to everyone watching, whether I know you, whether we talk, whether you're a stranger, whether you're an 11-year-old boy, a 65-year-old woman, it doesn't matter. I'm making a promise that I will never, ever, ever again endanger anyone on the road. I will drive as safely as I possibly can. I will not allow anyone to bug me or bother me on the road. If I see something I don't like, or if I see someone do something stupid, I will let it go. I will safely get away from that person and just drive normally. The point of driving, I love driving. I love it. Even in, crappy conditions, I enjoy driving. But I always let other people get to me and get under my skin. And I'm such a hypocrite. I've made videos talking about driving pet peeves. People don't use blinkers and people tailgate and do that. I always use blinkers, but of course I've been the asshole. I've been that guy on more than one occasion where you're driving along and someone's, or weaving in traffic. That's disgusting. I'm ashamed. I am ashamed of myself. And I'm sorry. I'm very sorry to every single person that I've ever endangered. And I'm never ever going to do it again. I feel extremely, extremely grateful that no one has ever gotten hurt because of me. And I really, really hope that anyone watching this video, if you're someone who does stuff like that, if you let other people get to you and you have a little bit of road rage, please, please try to let it go. It's extremely hard. I'm talking for personal experience. Please let it go, because I'm going to now. It's not worth it. It's not worth the horrible possible outcomes. Even if no one gets hurt, it's not worth the financial damage to damage your car or get tickets or anything like that. But more importantly, you don't know who's on the road. Okay, you may be blinded by someone's douchebaggery of doing something dangerous, and you feel like, yeah, well, I'm not endangering anyone who doesn't deserve it. It's ridiculous. It's a stupid way to think. I don't know. I'm ashamed. I can honestly say I'm ashamed for being so immature, because that's all it is. It's immaturity, and it's this macho bullshit. And I'm never going to do that again. I really hope that if you are watching this video, or if you know someone who takes unnecessary risks on the road, that you'll let them know that it's not worth it. Especially if it's a loved one. You tell them, look, I love you, and I don't want to see you get hurt. I don't want you to hurt strangers. I don't want you to ever endanger yourself. I care about you too much, and please don't do that anymore. And I hope this message spreads to everyone out there. It would be very ideal to hop on a highway or hop on a road and everyone's just doing what they're supposed to do and no one's doing anything dangerous. But by the way, please, I know after watching this video and hearing this story, you're going to go, Jeff, man, fucking dick, bro. You are a dickhead. I know, but I was. I'm not going to be anymore. So, all right, bring it on. Even if you want to call me an asshole or call me a name, I deserve it. But I'm changing. I'm changing. You know, I don't have to make a video like this. I don't have to tell people about stuff like that. It's embarrassing. I'm ashamed of it. I am. But this is me being me. This is me being real. And before you can ever change yourself and do better, before you can ever not make the same mistakes, and before you can ever better yourself, and before you can ever really fix wrong things about you, you have to admit to yourself that they are wrong. You know, I'm not an alcoholic, but if I was an alcoholic, the only way I can get better is to admit I'm an alcoholic. If I was a crackhead or something, I can't stop doing crack unless I admit I have a problem, right? This is like any other problem. It's something that's wrong. You want to fix it. You want to do better. But you can't do that if you're in denial. And up until now, I've been in denial because I never wanted to consider myself as a bad driver. It felt like a failure in life. It was important to me to be a good driver. It was important for me to be able to have loved ones and friends and stuff drive in the car with me and feel comfortable and safe. I want to be a good driver. But I wasn't being a good driver. I was handling the road fine. I was recovering from, I was reacting fast from dangerous situations that I put myself in. And I used to think that was me being a good driver. It wasn't. It was me being lucky. Anything can happen to anyone. It doesn't matter how good of a driver you are or not. It has nothing to do with it. I want to be a good driver, and from now on, that means being safe. That's the most important thing, is being safe. I don't care about being cool anymore. And all this stuff, by the way, it wasn't to be cool. I never sped to be cool. I sped and I did all that stuff because I was pissed off, because I had road rage. It was me directing my anger in my life to strangers, really. It was my way of venting. I never really thought of it until literally right now. That was more than likely just the way I got my anger out, because I had no other way to vent in my life. I had no other stress relief besides that. And I think that's really why I did stuff like that. It was all that pent-up energy and anger I took out on strangers because I felt like I was doing the right thing, and obviously it wasn't. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being an asshole and being dangerous. And I'm sorry for restricting, your right to comment on the video. It was hard. It was a hard dose of reality. Put this video up, I thought, you know what? Yeah, I hate that with the dogs. Who's with me? Who's with me? Who hates that? And I didn't get, yeah, I hate that, which is what I was expecting. What I got was, hey, wait a minute. Let's focus on you doing wrong. And I didn't like that. I got defensive. I was a baby. And I said, hey, don't talk about me. And I disabled the comments. But anyway, I don't want to be a baby. I want to learn from my mistakes. And I want to thank you. Thank you for calling me out on my bullshit and telling me what I was doing wrong, because that's the only way that I can fix myself. So thank you for that. The comments are there now. You can comment whatever you like on any of my videos. As long as it pertains to the video, I will leave it, whether I like it or not, whether it's calling me out on some bullshit that I'm doing or something that I did wrong. That's okay. I don't have to like it. It's real. It's truthful. Sometimes the truth hurts, but it's a way that I can become a better person. So anyway, that's all. Just wanted to kind of explain that. I always try to keep it real with you guys. It's important to me. It's important to me because what are you if you're not true to your word? Everything else is fake. And I want to be true to my word, and this is the only way that I can better myself and be a better person, is by learning from my mistakes. And this was one of my mistakes that I made for a long time, and I'm no longer going to make that mistake. And I really hope that if you're like me, or if you have that same kind of mentality, let it go. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So that's all. On to some more positive videos, more reviews. Thanks. I got a lot of great feedback on the traditional knife video that I did, talking about the copper locks. Got some cool messages. People said that they're into slip joints now and some different types of old school knives. That's great. I'll have more videos on that. I think my next video might be It might be a new knife review, and then after the knife review, I want to review the Through Night TN30, which is an amazing flashlight, very powerful, very cool. So I'm gonna do a review on that, and then on with the regularly scheduled program. But every now and then, I got some real shit going on in my life, and some lessons that I'm learning. I will pass them on to you through this series. That's why I created this series. This is just me being candid, me being me. I'm always me, but this is really just unfiltered, raw Jeff Smith. That's what you get. So the purpose of me doing this is to help myself first and then help everyone else. Anyone else who's like me, to maybe learn from these mistakes before it's too late, before something bad happens. And I'll continue to share stuff like that with you. As far as my last video that I did on this, talking about losing weight, I'm getting to a better eating schedule, getting back on board with the exercise, stuff like that. Seeing a little bit of an improvement. It's very slow, but it's steady, and it's the healthy way to do it. I know ways to lose weight fast, but it's unhealthy, and I don't really want to do that. I mean, I want to lose weight fast, but I don't really want to risk my health or not feeling good to do that. So we'll talk about that in the future, but things are moving along, and I have a lot of positive in my life. I have a lot of stuff that's going on, but I'm making everything positive, because that's the only way to enjoy life, is to see the good. Shit happens constantly. There's some bad shit that happens all the time to everyone. Doesn't matter who you are. Life is a series of good days and bad days, nice news and bad news. And the person who lives a happy life is the person who can enjoy the good, see the good, and when the bad comes, they get through it. They don't fixate on it. They're not worried about the bad happening. It's inevitable. You can be having a great day right now. There's a really shitty day coming. That's the truth. That's a fact. You have to embrace it. You take it. You deal with it. You move on. That's it. If you don't, you're going to be a miserable person. You're going to have a really crappy life. So, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to just enjoy life and the people around me, the people who I love. You know, I've done some wrongs, and I'm trying to fix myself. I'm trying to do good. That's all you can do. That's all you can ever ask of a person, is just to try. I'm trying pretty hard. So anyway, I'm going to try to make some more videos for you guys to watch and enjoy. And I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you enjoying the videos that I do make. So thank you very much. I apologize for any profanity, and I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you soon. Take care.